This video is about finding slope and intercepts from a graph. So here we have a function displayed on a graph as a line. So it's a linear function, not a quadratic function. We need to be able to find the slope and both intercepts. So let's start over here with a simple set of steps. Finding slope. We're going to use a slope triangle from one point to another. And we're going to remember that the rise is on top, the run is on the bottom, because the y minus y over the x minus x is your slope formula. So we're just doing it on a graph rather than mathematically. So here's my slope triangle. From this point rise to this point run. I know I'm going up and to the right, so I know it's positive. So I'm going up 4, I'm going over 5. So my slope is rise of 4, run of 5, and I can't simplify it. So that's done. Finding the y-intercept. We're going to determine where the line crosses the y-axis. Well, here's my line, and it crosses my y-axis right there. So that's up 5. So my y-intercept is 5. Or if I put it into ordered pair form, we know the x would be 0, and then the y is 5. So now I have to find the x-intercept. In order to do that, I need to write this function, which is now as a line, in slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. And the reason I can do that is the m in slope-intercept form is my slope. The b is my y-intercept, so I already know both parts of it. Once I do that, then I can actually find the x-intercept by substituting 0 for y. So y equals mx plus b. Y equals, I know my slope was 4/5, so I put it where the m is. And I know my y-intercept was 5, so I put it where the b is. There, I just wrote an equation for that line. Pretty cool. Now let's substitute 0 for y and solve for x. So I have to get rid of the 5. So I'm going to do the opposite, which is negative 5. Those cancel, so I'm left with negative 5 equals 4/5 x. When I have a fraction in front of a variable, I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal to cancel it out. When reciprocals are multiplied, they equal 1. 4 times 5 is 20. 5 times 4 is 20. 20 over 20 is 1. And 1 times x is still x. Okay, negative times a positive is a negative. 5 times 5 is 25. 4 times 1 is 4. So I have negative, and then since it's on the graph, I'm going to put it in mixed number form. 4 goes in there 6 times with a 1 left over. So negative 6 and 1/4. If I want to put it in ordered pair form, we know that the x is negative 6 and 1/4, and the y was 0 this time. And if you count over here, we can estimate that and see how close we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's negative 6, and it looks like it's right on negative 6, but we know mathematically that it was a little bit more. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this problem. So the first thing we're going to do is use the slope triangle to find the slope. So I'm going to go rise, run. My rise is up 4. My run this time is to the left, so it's negative 2. So rise over run. We know positive divided by negative is a negative. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So our slope is negative 2. So now let's find our y-intercept. Where does the line cross the y-axis? Looks like right there. And that's down negative 1. Or 0, negative 1. Now to find the x-intercept. Notice it looks like it's somewhere about a half. But we have to do it mathematically. So we're going to have to write the slope formula, or slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. We know the slope is negative 2, so we're going to replace that where the m is. So that's y equals negative 2x. We know the y-intercept is negative 1, so we're going to replace that where the b is at. And there's our slope-intercept form. Now we know from the notes we just took that we're going to substitute 0 for y to find the x-intercept. Okay, I have negative 1. I'm going to do the opposite, which is positive 1. They cancel, so 1 equals negative 2x. Okay, got to divide by negative 2. So x equals, positive divided by negative is a negative, negative 1/2. And look, that's about where it's at right there, huh? Negative 1/2. So our x-intercept is negative 1/2, or in ordered pair form, negative 1/2, 0. Okay, so pretty easy work. I'm not going to give you another example, so keep studying.